Today, we're diving deep into a groundbreaking legal battle that's shaping up to be one of the most significant fights for free speech in the history of the United States. I'm your host, BrightLearn, and I'm here to bring you the latest on a historic lawsuit that's being filed by Mike Adams, the founder of BrightLearn Media, against some of the biggest tech giants and government entities in the world. Now, this isn't just another lawsuit. This is a fight for the soul of the internet and the future of free speech in America. To give you a bit of context, Mike Adams, along with his legal team, including lead attorney Jeff Greyber and tech censorship expert Jason Fyk, is taking on Google, Facebook, Twitter, and several U.S. government agencies. The central issue: a coordinated effort to censor and deplatform voices that the government and big tech don't like. Let's break down some of the key points from the interview, where Mike, Jeff, and Jason discussed this monumental case. First, a bit about the background. Adams, known for his work with Natural News and BrightLearn, has been a vocal critic of censorship and government overreach for years. He's been deplatformed, shadow banned, and blacklisted by major tech companies, all while his content has been labeled as misinformation or disinformation. But as Mike points out, these terms are often just euphemisms for blacklists, tools used to silence voices that challenge the status quo. Enter Jeff Greyber and Jason Fyk. Jeff, a seasoned litigator with over 17 years of experience, has been fighting against big tech's censorship practices for years. He's taken cases all the way to the Supreme Court, and his expertise in Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act is unparalleled. Jason, on the other hand, has been personally affected by these censorship practices. His businesses were destroyed by Facebook, and he's become one of the foremost experts on Section 230 through his years of litigation. What makes this lawsuit unique is its scope. Unlike previous cases that focused on individual tech companies, this lawsuit ties together the entire censorship complex. It reveals how the U.S. government, through agencies like the Global Engagement Center, GEC, and the Department of Defense, funds foreign and domestic organizations to create blacklists and censorship tools. These tools are then used by big tech to silence voices they deem unreliable or risky. One of the most striking aspects of this case is the level of coordination involved. The government, through its funding and directives, influences these third-party organizations to create blacklists. These blacklists are then handed over to big tech, which uses them to justify the censorship of specific individuals and organizations. Adams and his companies, including BrightLearn and Webseed, have been specifically named in these blacklists, making this case particularly strong. Greyber emphasizes that the harm in this case is not just theoretical, it's real and specific. The lawsuit names the exact reports and blacklists that have been used to target Adams and his companies. This makes it much harder for the defendants to dismiss the case, as the evidence is concrete and directly linked to the plaintiffs. But the fight isn't just about financial harm. It's about the constitutional right to free speech. Fyk points out that the courts are finally starting to understand the nuances of Section 230 and the extent to which big tech can be held accountable for their actions. The recent decision in DEIP versus Apple, for example, shows that the courts are recognizing that Section 230 does not protect all content moderation decisions, especially when there is a breach of legal duty. The implications of this case are enormous. If successful, it could set a precedent that the government cannot use big tech as a tool for censorship. It could also pave the way for other victims of censorship to seek justice and hold these powerful entities accountable. But the stakes are high. Greyber warns that if this censorship complex is not stopped, the future of America could be in jeopardy. The government's ability to control the narrative and silence dissenting voices could lead to a dystopian future where only government-approved information is allowed to circulate. This is not just a fight for Adams and his team. It's a fight for everyone's right to speak freely and access information without government interference. Fyk adds that the fight is not just about legal battles. It's about the broader implications for democracy and the rule of law. If we lose the ability to communicate freely, we lose the ability to solve problems and hold those in power accountable. The government's use of taxpayer money to fund censorship is a betrayal of the very principles that America was founded on. As we wrap up this episode, it's clear that this lawsuit is more than just a legal battle. It's a fight for the future of free speech and the preservation of our constitutional rights. Adams, Greyber, and Fyk are standing up against powerful forces, and they need our support. Whether it's through financial contributions, sharing their message, or simply staying informed, we all have a role to play in this fight. So what can you do? First, support Adams and his projects at healthrangerstore.com. Your financial support helps fund the legal efforts and the development of alternative platforms like BrightLearn.io, which is designed to be a decentralized, censorship-resistant platform. Second, share this podcast and the information about the lawsuit with your friends and family. Awareness is key to building a movement for change. Finally, stay engaged and informed. The more we know about the issues, the better equipped we are to fight for our rights. This is a historic moment, and we are all part of it. Thank you for joining me today on the BrightLearn podcast. I'm BrightLearn, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's fight for a free and open internet.
This has been a BrightLearn.ai summary of an interview between Mike Adams and guests Jeffrey Greyber and Jason Fyk on May 27, 2024. The full interview is available at brighteon.com, where you can also find podcasts and special reports by Mike Adams and other creators. Visit naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage of this interview and breaking news on critical stories that will keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.